Since the advent of social media, however, FOMO has become more obvious and has been studied more often. FOMO, or fear of missing out, is a real phenomenon that is becoming increasingly common and can cause significant stress in your life. Here is what you should know about the history of FOMO, what research says, how to recognize it in your life, and how to manage FOMO to keep it from negatively affecting your happiness. The fear of missing out refers to the feeling or perception that others are having more fun, living better lives, or experiencing better things than you are. It is often exacerbated by social media sites like Instagram and Facebook. FOMO is not just the sense that there might be better things that you could be doing at this moment, but it is the feeling that you are missing out on something fundamentally important that others are experiencing right now. Social media has accelerated the FOMO phenomenon in several ways. Social media creates a platform for bragging. It is where things, events, and even happiness itself seems to be in competition at times. People are comparing their best, picture-perfect experiences, which may lead you to wonder what you are lacking. Unsurprisingly, adolescents use social networking sites at a high rate and may experience FOMO as a result. Interestingly, however, FOMO acts as a mechanism that triggers higher social networking usage. Girls experiencing depression tend to use social networking sites at a greater rate while, for boys, anxiety was a trigger for greater social media use. This shows that increased use of social media can lead to higher stress rates caused by FOMO. People of all ages can experience FOMO, several studies have found. One study in the Psychiatry Research Journal found that the fear of missing out was linked to greater smartphone and social media usage and that this link was not associated with age or gender. While multiple factors likely play a role, the research also found that social media use and problematic smartphone usage were linked with a greater experience of FOMO. Smartphone usage was related to fears of negative and even positive evaluations by others as well as linked to negative effects on mood. Adolescents and young people may be particularly susceptible to the effects of FOMO. Seeing friends and others posting on social media can lead to comparison and an intense fear of missing out on things their peers are experiencing. Research suggests that in some teens, FOMO can play a role in FOMO can contribute to peer pressure, leading teens to engage in risky behaviors they might otherwise avoid. Another article published in Computers and Human Behavior found several trends associated with FOMO. Fear of missing out was found to be associated with a lower sense of having one's needs met as well as a lower feeling of life satisfaction in general. FOMO was heavily linked to higher engagement in social media. As other studies have suggested, it appears that FOMO is linked to both feeling a need to engage in social media and increasing that engagement. This means that FOMO in social media habits may contribute to a negative, self-perpetuating cycle. Aside from increased feelings of unhappiness, fear of missing out can lead to greater involvement in unhealthy behaviors. For example, the same study in Computers and Human Behavior found that FOMO was linked to distracted driving, which in some cases can be deadly. In turn, greater engagement with social media can make us feel worse about ourselves and our lives, not better. In this way, it helps to know that our attempts to alleviate feelings of FOMO can actually lead to behaviors that exacerbate it. This is easier said than done on social media, where we may be bombarded with images of things we do not have, but it can be done. You can change your feed to show you less of what triggers your FOMO and more of what makes you feel good about yourself. Spending too much time on your phone or social media apps can increase FOMO. If doing a complete digital detox isn't possible, consider limiting your use of certain social media apps that make you feel as if you are missing out. Temporarily remove those apps, set daily limits on how much you will use them, or call your phone to remove people who make you feel bad about yourself or your life. It is common to post on social media to keep a record of the fun things you do. Keeping a journal can help you to shift your focus from public approval to private appreciation of the things that make your life great. This shift can sometimes help you to get out of the cycle of social media and FOMO. You may find yourself seeking a greater connection when you are feeling depressed or anxious, and this is healthy. Feelings of loneliness or exclusion are actually our brain's way of telling us that we want to seek out greater connections with others and increase our sense of belonging. Unfortunately, social media engagement is not always the way to accomplish this. You might be running from one bad situation right into an even worse one. Rather than trying to connect more with people on social media, why not arrange to meet up with someone in person? Making plans with a good friend, creating a group outing, or doing anything social that gets you out with friends can be a nice change of pace, and it can help you to shake that feeling that you are missing out. This is partially because it is harder to feel as if you lack the things you need in life when you are focused on the abundance you already have. You likely will not feel as tempted to go down the rabbit hole of social networking and FOMO when you realize how much you already have. You will begin to feel that you have what you need in life, and so do other people. Although FOMO is strongly correlated with social media usage, it is important to remember that it is a very real and common feeling among people of all ages. If you feel you are suffering from feelings of missing out, it can be helpful to reach out to a friend or spend some time reflecting on the things you are grateful for in your life.